What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, I've got this is going to be a weird one, all right? This is basically, Dead Monarchy is what happens when one guy, like one mad genius inside of like a basement or like an attic somewhere thinks to themselves, what if I tried to remake Battle Brothers with basically zero budget whatsoever? Like, how far would I get? And the answer to that question is he actually got farther than I expected him to get. Dead Monarchy is a game that is not pretty to look at. It's very asset-y. It's quite ugly. It's got a lot of like odd decisions when it comes to the UI and the amount of loading screens and things like that that exist inside of the game. But honestly, for a game made by one human being that had no cash flow, no funding, no anything else, it actually plays better than you would expect. So if you've got a tolerance for a pretty thick layer of jank, this may be a game that sort of suits your mercenary company management, I think, itch quite well. So we're going to dive on in today, and we're going to play the game for about 30 or 35 minutes. See if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or pass on. I've got a link for you down below in the description. The developer has said that this is the final release, or at least this is officially the 1.0, but he is like thinking about adding more stuff to it. So there you are. You'll also find a link down there to my Discord and my Twitch stream just in case you wanted to hang out live. But let's go ahead and dive on in because time is wasting. We're going to leave everything on the defaults right here, but the game is highly customizable with regards to theme and difficulty and the different travails that you're going to go through as you play through the game. You can basically customize to your heart's content. Spoiler alert, everything ramped up to the hardest it can possibly be is the quote-unquote intended difficulty. Emperor is what I think they call it throughout the game. We will not be playing on Emperor here today because I just don't like suffering that much. This is basically telling us, this is really, really long dialogue here. I'm not going to read it, but it's basically saying that the world is ending. The noble houses are all falling apart. There's all kinds of bad apocalyptic things taking place. I haven't seen any monsters or anything in the game. It's mostly been just me killing other human beings. So I think this is kind of like a much lower fantasy version of Battle Brothers in all honesty. But we've got to make our character. Every single character has an aptitude. That is to say that character can use a certain type of weapon and no other weapon. I'm going to go with Hammer and Pavis, I guess, for my character. For my first party member, I'm probably going to go for a sword and shield. And for my second party member, I would say that I would probably go for, oh, I don't know, like a greatsword or something. A warhammer would be pretty cool too. I think I could get down with that. Let's do the great hammer. That sounds good. You can't customize the way that your character looks, but you can change his name around if you want to. I do hope that at some point they manage to get some kind of character customization on inside of the game. But then again, this isn't really a game that's focused on being pretty in the slightest. Like, everything here is strictly for functionality purposes. And then this is where actually the game gets interesting because this game has a lot of customization to it. Like, you can customize your character a lot. Every single mercenary in your outfit has a huge amount of skills, a huge amount of attributes, a huge amount of abilities, a huge amount of specializations that you can fiddle with. And I think that's where the game starts to shine through, and this is the beginning where we've got to assign all of our points. I'm going to go with 50 health. I'm going to go with 50 attack. I'm going to go with like 30 strength. I'm going to go with maxed out defense. I'm going to go with maxed out dodge so that I can't be shot very easily. And I think I'll probably put the rest of the points maybe into like a little bit of strength, and then maybe like a little bit of HP right there just to make sure we don't get one-shotted. Like, your average hit at the beginning of the game is going to be like 48 damage. So that gives us another hit, at least, once they get through our armor. Luckily, we start out with pretty, like, beef chunky armor, so it'll probably be okay. Let's go ahead and start the game on off. So this storyline right here is just telling us that we've been rotting inside of a city dungeon, and we have been released. We're out of here because the place was abandoned. We need to consult our journal, and this is what the game looks like. Like I said, very much asset-y, but you'll get used to it the more that you play it. It's not that big of a deal. We have our little character. He can run around on the overworld map. The downside is there's not really a whole lot to free roam about out here. There's like the occasional enemy dungeon, There's occasionally like a treasure chest or something that you can loot that's hidden underneath a tree, but most of the interesting things that are going to happen in this game happen on the inside of havens, which are the final cities left in this kind of rotting, falling apart world. Let me go ahead and get myself equipped real fast. We always start out with a leather harness in this game when you make a new character, and then I'll swap my weapons out right there. As I recall, I don't think you can actually unequip that. I think it stays there, so I think on our first turn, I'm gonna... Oh, there it goes. It popped out. Never mind. Cool, man. Last time I played through, I had to swap my weapons over because, like, the drag and drop didn't want to work for me. These are our teammates. We've got Cherubert, who's got a shield and, like, some chainmail. We've got ourselves Baldric, who also has a Raider's chainmail harness and a giant warhammer. And we need to go out and find ourselves a job. That's pretty much all there is to it. So we'll go into Korberg Haven, and let's see if we can find ourselves some things to do out here in the hinterland. This is one thing that I think is super clunky about the game. Basically, so everything in this game seems to kind of be very similar to the way that things worked in the original Mount and Blade. When you go into a town, you've got like these text selections on the left. Every single time you click on one, it's going to like zoom in on a building. And then if you decide to go inside the building, there's going to be a load screen and like more text options. If there's probably one thing that I think might scare some people off, it's just the sheer volume of loading screens in this game that you've got to go through in order to play it. It didn't bother me that much, but there are a lot of loading screens, just sort of like objectively. There's a ton of loading screens. If we wanted to get a job, we need to go to the manor. So let's go to the manor, and we will talk with the noble lords that live here. All right, so we'll talk to the local lord. It's Lord Gunter of House Durant. Let's see what contracts he has available. The writing in this game all seems to be perfectly functional. I haven't seen any typographical errors. I haven't seen any major problems with, like, spelling problems or grammar or anything else. It all seems to be written in such a way that if the game had more scene setting and more lipstick and more window dressing, it would actually probably be fairly immersive. We've got available contracts over here. This is exactly what it looks like. These are all different categories of missions you can do, and you choose how hard you want the mission to be before you go in. So it's usually a good idea to like save the game before you try one of a higher level. But for now, there's a rookie raid contract over here. It looks like there are a band of outlaws that have been sighted not too far from the haven. 6 outlaws have set up a small encampment there and are harassing travelers and traders. The criminal element cannot be left to their own devices, and they need to be swiftly and brutally eliminated. What's the difference between the novice one? That gives us 3 outlaws that we've got to go take down. I don't know if we can handle 6. 6 might be a little bit close. Let me see if there's anybody that I can recruit with the money that I have on hand right now, because I think we can win a 4v6, but I don't know about a 3v6. So we can look at new recruits over here in town, and we can see what their specialties are and how good they are. Sometimes they'll start out at like a higher level. So we've got Ostragizzle over here. I don't actually know what that lock means right there. We've got Oh, he gets bad stamina, so we don't want him. This guy over here has a strong willpower that gives him +5 resolve. Okay. He's good with a longsword and an arbalest. This guy's pretty good. He's got a longsword and an arbalest, but he's got 2 stats over here that have boosted up his dodge stats to like ridiculous levels. Like, this guy is actually pretty dodgy and hard to hit. I'll take him. He's got a cool gemstone on his belt, too. There we go. We'll add another guy to the squad. And then this guy's got a warhammer. This guy's got a war sword, but it looks like he suffers from headaches, so we don't really want him. This guy's also got a longsword. Well, then I don't know who I want. I guess I'll just take the guy that has chainmail on, because that's a nice thing to see. He's got fast reflexes, and it looks like he's got a hardy constitution. So I'll take him. We'll hire him. 2 more guys added to the stack, and now I think we could take like a slightly harder mission, maybe. Inside town, there's also like taverns. There's a fighting arena. There's temples. There's smithies, and all of these things actually have their own function. Like the temple, for example, they are money lenders, or they're money changers, so you can swap like different currency types and things of that nature in order to get the coins you need to do what you want to do. Every town has its own prosperity, its own military security, and its own strength. As you do missions for towns, they get stronger. I don't know if they attack each other or anything else like that. When I was playing last night for a couple of hours, didn't see towns attacking each other or anything, so I don't know if it really truly matters, but the prosperity makes it such that you get better items in shops and whatnot. So we'll take that raid mission right there, and I'll show you what combat looks like in this game. It should just be right around the back of the building over here, so it shouldn't be that big of a problem. It would appear as though our quest is over here on this bottom left-hand side, so we'll just kind of travel in that direction and see if we make it in good time. Makeshift camp. Would you like to die? A small makeshift camp erected by undesirables to hoard their plundered goods. All right, in we go. Into the combats, into the battle fighting. So this game, there's our 6 bad guys over there. They don't look that well armed, so I think we'll probably be okay. We want to double click on our guys, and we'll kind of set up our front line here and get ready for the enemy. I don't know what that guy, we probably want him like in the back since he doesn't have that great of armor. And that guy doesn't have that great of armor either, so we probably want like our front line to impact first. So in this game, it uses an AP system. AP allows you to move, do all your activities, swap between weapon sets, all that kind of stuff. Your entire team takes your turn in this game instead of it being like initiative based. So my entire team gets to move, then their entire team gets to move, so on and so forth. Factor that into your planning, otherwise you might regret it. Does this guy even have an arbalest? I don't think he does. Okay, he doesn't have an arbalest then. Well, we'll take this guy up. His movement's a little bit bad, but it'll probably be okay. And then I think we're just going to bypass our turn real fast. That guy's got a sword. Most of these guys don't look like they have weapons that are going to be able to get through our thick armor. So I think as long as I can keep the fight isolated to the main candidates, like the guys that we started out with, that all have like 200, HP on their armor, we should be okay here. We do want to claim this tall ground if we can. So I'm going to claim that right there. And we do want to pay attention to our facing in this game too. I want him to face that way. There we go. Got him facing the right way. You go ahead and stand up beside him. Over here. We'll kind of like move you up to like here, I guess. You move up to here. This poor guy in the back has nothing going on. I'll swap his weapons out once we get to the front of the battle lines. Okay, the enemy is on us. They have officially made contact. In this game, you usually want to take these little high ground spots right here because they give you a fat boost to your accuracy. It is a delightful boost to one's accuracy. I'm going to scooch you over to here, and then we're going to take a standard attack on this guy. Our hit chance is 70%. That's not too bad. I did have skill points I could apply before we came in here, but unfortunately, I forgot to do it. Otherwise, we would have like 95% chance to hit. We'll do a standard attack right there. Big 75 damage, or 65 damage hit right there. So he took 63 damage to his armor and 20 to his HP. Good, that's what I like to see. Over here, standard attack number 1. That's a big hit, and he cut the guy's head off. Good. Even out the field of combat for me, would you? This guy, I guess move over to here now that you're good to go, and then we'll adjust your facing to go that way. You step forward to here, and we'll see how you do. 60% chance to hit. He still managed to do it and sunder the guy's armor. You swap back over to your longsword, I guess. He has like no armor though, so he's probably going to need some backup, especially if those guys decide to go around. He did like some kind of taunting move, which allowed him to land a hit on our armor. That guy moved it there, but it's not going to... Ooh, he got me with the armor too. Okay. These guys making hits out here. Okay, we blocked the ones that mattered from like the big two-handers. I'll take it. Over here, we want an attack right here. Miss. There's a good hit, and we've got another one laid low. Good stuff. All right, over here, we're going to want to hit you. Big hit right there. Hopefully the swordsman in the back can make it. He just decapitated that guy with a stab. That's pretty raw. That's pretty nasty. We'll go ahead and turn his facing to right there. And you guys over here are my next concern. Big swing and a miss, unfortunately. Big swing and a miss, unfortunately. This guy's kind of dodgy over here. He's making this a bit of a headache. There we go. His luck was going to run out eventually, and down he goes. Step in front of big Warhammer guy, I guess. Since you're like a main character. Big swing and a miss right there. I'll take it. Big hit right there, though. We're going to have to fix our armor after this. In this game, your armor doesn't automatically repair. Oh, I forgot. He gets attack of opportunity. So in some games, you can slide freely around base contact with an enemy. It's only if you try to step outside that base contact, you get an attack of opportunity. In this game, if you move from the initial point of contact, they get an attack of opportunity. Unfortunately, with that move, I can't swing at this guy now. You maybe move over to here for the surrounding kill. And then on this side, I gotta bonk this dude up pretty good, but I don't know if it's gonna go the way that I want. It has not gone the way that I want, and I am now a depression. We'll go over to this side and go ahead and face him, please. We'll rotate the camera so that we can see again. And unfortunately, they've survived another turn. My unarmored guy just dodged a big sledgehammer swing, which probably saved his life. So that's good. Death in this game is rapid. It happens very quickly. You should be ready for it. Like, that guy right there hadn't been touched, and he just got one-shotted. Like, your armor will buy you maybe a turn or two of consistent hits in this game, but in a lot of ways, it's very similar to Battle Brothers. Super high TTK. Once you get touched good. Wow, dude, this guy's a god. What is this guy's dodge? He's just got super lucky dice. That's all that it is. He's got 4 points in defense. I don't know how you can't keep getting away with it, bro. There's a hit. There you go. Chunk him up a little bit. He's got the mustache of power. That's why we can't get him. My man's rocking that mustache of authority. I would just like to take my turn and kill you right now. That's all that I ever wanted. There it is. Another one bites the dust, and that's going to be the end of our combat. At the end of combat, people are going to level up. The bar is not animated, though, so it can sometimes be... I would like to see the... I like it when the little meters go... Ding, 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 ding. Like, make leveling up feel like a slot machine. That's what really makes me clap my hands. But anyways, we've leveled up a whole bunch, so now I can show you the character customization. On top of that, we get loot from all of the guys that we just killed. I'll probably put the cloth surcoat on my swordsman maybe, so that at least he's got something protecting him. Make sure you look at your gear in this game. Your gear in this game seems to be kind of variable, I guess. Like, it seems to move around between similar objects, so like these two crude iron hammers have different stats. You see what I mean? So make sure you look at things before you just like equip them or like throw them away because they say that they're rusty. Apparently the constant killing of men grows to become tiresome and repetitive, but we got paid 750 bucks. There you go. Back to town we go for a nice night in the cups at the tavern, and then we can call it. Oh, actually, there's a treasure chest over here. I'm gonna go get the treasure chest that's on the ground right there. You can kind of see it blinking brightly over on this side. There it is. Let's grab it. It had a ancient coin inside of it, and it had a whole bunch of money, so 400 bucks, and some antique coins from a previous age. Those are the things that you can convert into like real usable currency at the church. There's another treasure chest over there, but I kind of just want to go back to town and resupply because we're going through a lot of supplies right now. I forgot to buy them before we left. Now that we're inside town and we are nice and safe, I think it's probably a good idea to start thinking about level ups, but I don't know if I can actually level up from inside of town. Maybe, maybe not. We'll go back outside real quick. All right, now that we're outside, we will go to our perks. There they are. So this right here is the level up system. Every single grouping of weapons in this game has two abilities on it, right? So if you are a hammer user, you can get Weakening Strike and you can get Sudden Strike, and then from there you're just putting more points into that ability to make it more efficient, hit harder, cost less AP, take less stamina, so on and so forth. However, the customization tends to take place inside these menus over here. So you've got training, for example. With training, I can increase my attack by 25, and that's 100% what I'm going to do. After that, I'm also going to go through and I'm probably going to increase my defense by 25 just to make myself absurdly difficult to hit. And so we're going to focus on passives for right now. Pretty much everybody is going to use their first point to level up their attack because that's going to give them a much more acceptable attack rate, like a much more. We do have the question of the second point on all of these guys. I sort of feel like it's a good idea to either put it in defense or HP. It's up to you what you want to do. The survival tree also has a full grouping of stuff that you can do over here just in case you wanted to. You can restore your strength, you can restore your defense, you can get block whenever you have a shield equipped. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can play around with inside of here. A huge amount of customization. Everything that rewards you from your armor selection, I mean, to passives. There's a lot of stuff in here, and this is where I think the game began to raise my eyebrow a little bit and be like, okay, this is more than the sum of its parts. Like, yeah, it's ugly, it's clunky, it has too many load screens. Like, it's basically like a very low-budget version of Battle Brothers, but it does have a ridiculously distinct amount of customization that even Battle Brothers does not have for all of its other attributes, and so that's all very interesting stuff to me. I went ahead and kept it simple, and I just gave everybody attack and everybody HP, just to make it less likely that we get one-shotted in a single turn. But this is where the game excels. This is what I've been waiting to show you this entire video, because this is what I think the game does best, is just allow you full, ridiculously complete control over an entire battle force of dudes that are going out and skirmishing with other guys all throughout like a destroyed world. We can't go to anything because it's nighttime right now, so instead I'm going to go to the tavern, and we're just going to rest for the night. Rent a room for 10 bucks. There we go. And I will tell our characters to rest until morning. There we go. Leave the room. So now everything should be back open at this time. You guys are drinking at 6 a.m.? Man, some people built different. I couldn't do that. I would die. I would just fall over dead. Inside the marketplace, do you have anything that you wish to buy from me? I will sell you all of these woods for what it's worth. Thank you. You can also sell off the random antique coins and stuff you find. I'm not going to because they have other uses. I haven't discovered all the uses for them yet, but they do have other uses. This is the marketplace. You can buy stuff and things here to your heart's content. What we need are provisions, and so I'm probably going to buy like a couple $1,000 worth of provisions. That'll hold us. That should be good enough. I'm going to sell that hammer right there. I'm going to compare the longsword to what I already have. I don't know if it's going to be good, but it might be someday. The good stuff you find in this game is going to be from the smithy or from treasure chests. There's a plain steel longsword that looks quite a bit nicer than the other one. I forgot to put like, ooh, that's a nice helmet too. You have a little bit of armor right there. It might not be a bad idea to buy armor for the swordsman maybe. Yeah, I could do that. We can afford it. Let's go ahead and do it. And then we'll sell the other stuff. Hold on to like a few of the goodies around here. But I need to look at everybody's loadout. And we need to take a new job. Or we could just go to the arena and get like a free fight. Maybe I'll go to the arena and take a fight. The arena has a couple different fights. It has like professional fights. The storyline of the game, if it exists at all, is that an arena leader here, like the grand gym master of this location, knows something about how your father was killed, and so you need to come to the arena and put him to the sword to get him to tell you. And ultimately, the storyline of the game is that you got to travel the world, become the arena champion of everywhere, and then you'll find out how your dad was betrayed and killed while assembling like a big 20-man mercenary battle force. But the storyline is very much kind of like secondary to this game. There's 3 different types of fights in the arena. We're going to take the exhibition fight because that's what we are in tune for. So we'll go ahead and get everybody out on the field. I forgot to put gear on people. I'm super stupid. So we're still going to have to protect him for another chunk of this fight. We're just going to bypass our turn. Let them come to us. The AI in this game is nothing too crazy from what I've seen in my 2 or 3 hours with the game. They mostly seek to close the gap with you. They do seem to make checks, however, like as to whether or not they can get to high ground before they fight you. So the AI does do like a little bit of sophistication in there. Like they do try to pick good spots on the battlefield from whence to fight you. Yeah, now we're hitting much more effectively. Now that we've leveled up everybody's attack, we're going through them like scythe through wheat. Hell yeah. Sit him down. Yup, just clunk him up with that hammer, baby. There you go. Put him to sleep. The mustache no longer protects you. They're in base contact, so I'll probably actually have him move over to here just so he can set up on the next turn, maybe. Good block right there. Love to see it. I do like that different guys with different weapons have different stances. So, like, somebody that's got, like, a long sword, he's got kind of like a dueling stance, you know? And then somebody that's got, like, a hammer, they've got, like, a very idle stance. I do like that little detail. Ooh, nice parry right there. Okay. Give him a smack. Move up to here. Finish him off. Very nice. Good hit. Well, I guess maybe not a good hit. I don't think he dealt any damage right there. That was weird. We may have to get our guy a better weapon. Oh, he parried that one. The guy with the basket on his head is now at risk. Oh, he parried. Good for you, man. Parried twice. Let's see if we can get some Rawenge over here. Yeah, I don't know if that guy's armor is just too resistant. But he's having trouble getting through. Oh, this guy has no strength. Okay, so we're going to have to level up his strength. He's got really, really poor strength. So he's not going to be able to defeat any... Oh, I just passed an entire round. That's my bad. He's not going to be able to wound or hurt anyone that has even the most basic of armor on. Taken care of. Fight's over. All healing and all repairs in this game are manually done. So... Hey, $1,000. Take that. So all repairs of your armor and all repairs of your humans are going to need to be done inside a dedicated facility. So we need to go to the smithy, and then we would ask the smithy to go ahead and repair our gear. And so request repairs. He's got 100 armor missing, so we'll repair his armor. He's only got like 18 missing, so I don't really care. And we should be good on that side. All right, so we're all good there. You can forge weapons if you have the materials to do so. There is crafting in this game, and there are different like gear tiers and things like that that you can work on just in case you don't want to like buy your armor because it is quite prohibitively expensive. Up to you. Do whatever you want. I do need to open up the inventory over here. And this guy on the end, Hildebald, we gotta do something. No, not Hildebald. Never mind. Cherubert. With Cherubert, go ahead and put on some real, actual, honest-to-God armor. That'll keep you alive a little bit longer. 226-27. So that's got one more damage, but one less break. All right, good to know. We're going to need to take his strength up, though. His strength is bad. We do need to go to the manor and get a new job. There are jobs of a lot of different varieties in this game. Everything from carrying an object from one point to another to recovering, you know, rare coins. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff here. There's eliminations. There's requisitions. So requisition is going to be like they want a certain amount of equipment brought in. Acquisitions is like the same thing, but with trade goods and resources for crafting. You can train people's armies. You can do retrievals over here, which means you need to go find like rare relics and bring them back. You can collect things. So like we have these weathered coins on us right now. Technically we could take that and just instantly get the paycheck. But there's lots and lots of little things that you can do out here. They want me to get 5 flax bundles and 5 peat bricks. You can probably do that. We're gonna have to cruise around the neighborhood to go find it, but we can probably do it. Let's get everybody leveled up too, and get them a little bit more powerful and strong. Before I forget, Cherubert is gonna need some strength training. There we go. He's got 29 strength now. That means he should be able to get through people's armor. I think on the cards, we may want to get him another... We may want to pick him up another weapon, too, that's got a little bit more punch to it. As far as flaws go, what flaws need to be fixed on all these characters? He could use a little bit more HP. I think I am going to have him in heavy armor, so it may not be a bad idea to go grab some heavy armor, but it might be a good idea to get, like, our basic gear lined up, too. Or, like, our basic abilities lined up. And this one says, when flanking an enemy from the left or right, melee and ranged attacks get plus 25% or plus 25 damage that bypasses helmet or armor. Attacking from behind, we can get 50. I would probably put that on the guy with the longsword. That plus 50 damage would be raw. And he's pretty fast and mobile from what I saw. Just so many options and selections here. I think Berserker Instinct is a good call right there, because that means I get AP back whenever I kill somebody. Like, that sounds really good. That sounds like the kind of thing that I could get behind. I'll probably make it so that he's better in heavy armor, since he's already got a sword and board. With these big two-handed guys, I don't know what I want from them, but I do think that getting AP back after killing a guy with an attack is a really good idea, especially on, like, the big two-hander guys. A Hammer and Pavis over here probably just give you sudden strike, so at least somebody has, like, an ability that they can use in combat. But yeah, this is going to be Dead Monarchy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. This is a very niche title made by one guy with no financial backing, no help over the last 6 or 7 years. I think it's actually a fairly entertaining sandbox as long as you understand that there are no bells and whistles here whatsoever. Not graphically, not narratively. Like, this is legitimately a Kenshi-style sandbox for you to wander around and build a 20-guy army inside of, and just slam them into other 20-guy armies and see how your builds work out. If that's what you're looking for and you think that sounds really entertaining, this does that, and boy does it do it well. If that's not what you're looking for, there's always tomorrow's video. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for being here. Take care, folks, and that's all that I've got for you.